All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today, I have Miss Krystle with us. She is a self-defined agro-pop singer-songwriter. She has expanded her passions into founding her own record label, Dukes Up Records, as well as owning her own entertainment law firm, Delgado Entertainment Law, PLLC. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Tyler.
Of course, grateful to have you here. So the first one we ask on this show is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
It's funny because I had to actually synthesize my life into a story. I did a TEDx recently, and I mean, that's what it is, right? You synthesize your life down into 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I just, for everything that I've been through or accomplished or failed at or wherever I'm at in my life, I just feel like I am still not where my journey ends or where everything kind of is climatic. I feel like there's been a lot of adventures and stories to tell, but, I'm just kind of starting, to be honest. So if I can share anything, I would just say the fact that I have been trying to do everything within, the entrepreneurial spirit as a musician, as a business owner, as an attorney, and to make it all make sense for these very different career paths into one kind of career path that is my own today.
And then what is the most I know you've done a lot of things here, but what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry? Feel free to pick one or tell us about both or all of them.
Sure. Well, I'll even just referencing the TEDx, I share 3 rules, right? So having been in the entertainment field for now well over 20 years in every respect, modeling, filmmaking, music, and then now, of course, from the legal perspective as well. The 3 rules I shared, I'll just talk about one of them, and that has to do with resiliency. And that's just the ability to get back up no matter what the world throws at you. And that's been something so tried and true, not just for myself, but it's everybody. It doesn't matter, who you are or what track that you're on. It's not if you're going to fail, it's when and how many times.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel nice to fail, but we all do. And I think that the difference is for those people who succeed is that they're able to get up each and every time and they keep going.
And then what is your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
To be, and I keep using the phrase self-starter, but what I mean is to be a problem solver and just to understand that, especially as a musician, we all have this perspective that we're waiting for someone to discover us. We're waiting that someone's going to make all of our dreams come true, and that's just not the case, because we're talking about even a label. We're talking about people. We're talking about people who have hopefully experience, but at the end of the day, no one's going to know your career as well as you, nor are they going to work as hard as you. And so, the biggest piece of advice is don't wait on anyone. If you're lucky enough that you were able to find someone to join your team and to bring value to your project, that's amazing. But most of the time, you're not going to find those people, or they're not going to be able to sustain long term. To just bring that value consistently. So the point being, learn what you need to learn to be able to fill all of these aspects. And, like I said, do not rely on anybody but yourself.
And then in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Well, I can speak for myself, at least right now. And that's, I feel content because I am hustling and being able to fight for my dreams and my goals. And when I feel like I'm out of control, because now I'm waiting on, let's say, music producers, or I'm waiting on someone else who isn't, coming through for me, it's very defeating. And that's a universal thing that most artists, that should resonate with most people, but specifically artists. But nonetheless, for me, just feeling like every day there's a purpose. I get up, I know what I'm working for, and it doesn't matter, at the end of the day, as long as I did that one thing, make that one song, work towards that one music video, for me, that is happiness.
And then what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Well, am I going to be all cheesy if I start mentioning Gary Vaynerchuk at this point?
No, I love Gary.
No, I mean, he's fantastic. Hey, side note, I totally got a message from him Friday night about peed my pants.
No way. Are you serious? That's
I
crazy.
had a show. I had a show, and I'm going through my DMs because the performer before me was finishing his set, and then so I'm just looking at my messages, and I see one from Gary, and I just like I kept looking at it. I'm like, no, no.
Yo, that's freaking
Anyway, so
amazing.
yeah, so that was kind of cool. But in any case, so for Gary Vaynerchuk, any of his books really, very very influential for me. The last year of everything that I've tried and just kind of let go of, as far as my hesitations about social media and things like that, he's been hugely influential, and a lot of it came from his books.
And then what is your favorite quote and why?
um, Shoot, that's gonna be a difficult one.
That's fine.
Maybe not so much of a quote, but just this thing that I've just been thinking every single morning. So as you might be able to assume, there's a lot that I have to handle on a day-to-day basis, even just as an attorney, right? So my job is I am essentially a firefighter. I put out fires, I prevent them, or I figure out how to control, the flames that burn, for my clients anyway. So when I
Mhm.
wake up in the morning and I just feel this overwhelming sense of just like, man, there's a lot that I have to do. I don't know how I'm going to have time for everything, plus my music career, and just stopping myself and just remembering gratitude and just remembering that, it's really, really difficult to complain when you just feel grateful for the things that you have. So not so much a quote, but just a general sense to keep in the back of your mind. When you start having those negative emotions, identify why, and then reset your focus. And, this is also Tony Robbins. When I was in my teens, he was also hugely influential on me. And this was the first time I really read and understood about changing your perspective. And it's impacted my life in a very, very extreme way.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming on. The last one I got for you. Where can our listeners best connect with you online, and anything else that you'd like them to know about?
Thanks. Well, my website is misskrystle.com, and it's Krystle, Krystle. Y'all be spelling my name wrong. Uh, and as far as social media, I'm probably the most active on Instagram, but any platform, Facebook, Snapchat, all the like, just come say hi. I'm definitely more about just connecting with people and sharing information, including just lifestyle and health stuff that I talk about.
Perfect. Thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. You have a wonderful day.